It starts as a thought. I hope this works tonight. And then that thought triggers your heart to skip a beat. You get a flush of heat and then nothing. And you tell yourself it's all in your head. You tell yourself you just need to relax. But the harder you try to relax, the more your body refuses to cooperate. So here's the truth. It is in your head, but not in the way you think. It's not just nerves. It is a chemical cascade where stress hormones are actively hunting down and destroying the one molecule you need for an erection. So you're not broken, you are biochemically blocked. And today, we are going to unblock it. I'm Dr. Anand Chaturvedi, an adult psychiatrist and clinical researcher. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how psychological stress hijacks your biology, destroys nitric oxide, and kills your performance. And more importantly, how to fix it. Most men think of performance anxiety as a mood issue. They think if they could just get out of their head, everything would work. But biologically, stress has a rivalry with your sexual system. Specifically, there is a war happening in your blood vessels between a stress hormone called cortisol and a vasodilator called nitric oxide. So when you get stressed about performance, you aren't just worried. You are flooding your system with chemicals that physically constrict blood flow, and you are turning off the valve. Now, I have this conversation with men in my office constantly. They think their body's broken, they take pills, and sometimes even the pills don't work. And why is that? Because the chemical environment in their blood is too toxic for the medication to do its job. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into the mechanism, and we're going to look at the sympathetic nervous system, oxidative stress, and how this all relates to each other. It sounds complex, but I'm going to make it simple. So let's start with the most common culprit, the nervous system switch. Now, your autonomic nervous system has two gears. The sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight gear, and this is the gas pedal. It is designed to save your life when a tiger is chasing you. The parasympathetic nervous system is your rest and digest gear, and it also is your feed and breed gear. This is the brake pedal. So here's a biological mechanism that most doctors don't have time to explain to you. An erection is a parasympathetic event. It requires you to be in the rest and digest mode. But when you experience performance anxiety, when you worry about losing an erection or satisfying your partner, your brain interprets that fear exactly the same way it interprets a tiger in the room. Your brain slams on the gas pedal. It triggers the sympathetic nervous system. And why does this matter for you? Because when the sympathetic system activates, it pulls blood away from your extremities and your reproductive organs and sends it to your major muscle groups so you can run. Because when the sympathetic system activates, it pulls blood away from your extremities and your reproductive organs, and it sends it to the major muscle groups so you can run. Biologically, your body is saying, we don't have time to reproduce right now. We are trying to survive. So that mental block you feel, that is your survival instinct hijacking your blood flow. But it gets more physical than that. This isn't about blood flow redirection. It's about molecular destruction. So to get an erection, the lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, needs to produce a gas called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the key to the ignition. It signals your smooth muscles to relax, allowing blood to rush in. So without nitric oxide, the door is locked. Now enter cortisol. When that performance anxiety hits, your cortisol levels spike. Acute stress elevates cortisol, and cortisol promotes the generation of something called superoxide. This is where the chemistry gets dirty. Superoxide is a free radical. It represents oxidative stress. Superoxide loves nitric oxide. It is chemically attracted to it. So when superoxide meets nitric oxide in your bloodstream, they react instantly. But they don't just cancel each other out. They combine to form a toxic molecule called peroxynitrate. This is devastating for two reasons. Number one, you have lost your nitric oxide. It's gone. It's been scavenged. So no matter how aroused you mentally feel, the chemical signal to open the blood vessels is physically missing. And number two, peroxynitrite is toxic to the very cells that produce nitric oxide. It causes something called eNOS uncoupling. Think of eNOS as the machine that makes nitric oxide. So peroxynitrite breaks the machine, and instead of making nitric oxide, the machine starts making more superoxide. It becomes a vicious cycle. And the more stressed you are, the more superoxide you make. The more superoxide you make, the less nitric oxide you have. The less nitric oxide you have, the more you fail. And the more you fail, the more stressed you get. This is exactly what is happening to you. It is a biological feedback loop that reinforces itself, and you are stuck in a chemical trap. Okay, so that's the heavy stuff. That's the bad news. But take a breath, because this is solvable. Once you understand that this is a chemical problem, we can use chemical and physiological solutions to fix it. We need to lower the oxidative stress and flip the nervous system switch back to rest and digest. So here's the Doctor's Edge approach to managing this. Strategy number 1, the physiological switch. Now, you cannot think your way out of a sympathetic overdrive. You have to breathe your way out. So when you feel that anxiety spike, that moment of, oh no, it's not happening, do not try to force it with your mind. You want to use the physiological sigh. So 2 quick inhales through the nose and 1 long, slow exhale through the mouth. So why does this work? This mechanically offloads carbon dioxide and forces your heart rate to slow down. It signals the vagus nerve to engage the parasympathetic system, and it manually pumps the brake pedal. Strategy number 2, treat the biology directly. So you want to remember, superoxide is the enemy stealing your nitric oxide, so we need to neutralize the superoxide. And this is where antioxidants come in. If you are prone to performance anxiety, you need to buffer your oxidative stress. So things like vitamin C and L-citrulline can be effective here. L-citrulline is a precursor to nitric oxide, essentially giving your body more raw material to work with. But more importantly, reducing overall inflammation in your body protects the nitric oxide you do produce. Strategy number 3 is the 10-minute rule. This is a cognitive behavioral technique I use with my patients. The pressure comes from the expectation of immediate performance. So you remove the goal of an erection for the first 10 minutes. You agree with your partner that intercourse is off the table for 10 minutes, and you focus only on sensation. So when you remove the deadline, you lower the cortisol spike. And when you lower the cortisol, you stop the production of superoxide. And when you stop the superoxide, your nitric oxide survives. And usually, without trying, the erection returns. So here's the bottom line. Your mental health is non-negotiable, and your sexual health is a direct reflection of your nervous system balance. So if you're struggling with this, stop beating yourself up, stop trading your sanity for your sexuality. You are dealing with a cortisol spike that is scavenging your nitric oxide. And it's simple biology, and biology can be managed. Be your own advocate, try the breathing, support your body with the right nutrition to lower oxidative stress, and give yourself permission to be human. You deserve to feel good mentally and physically. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so YouTube shares it with other men who are suffering in silence. And make sure you subscribe to The Doctor's Edge for more science-packed deep dives into your brain and body. I'm Dr. Anand Chaturvedi, and I'm going to see you in the next video.